Welcome to Intermediate Blending, a follow-up series to Beginning to Blend. I'm JoRaSe, your host for this series, just like the last. Now, let's delve in and begin. And back to our carrot growth model. We've got the model file here. And we've got a texture file here, which is linked in the description below. This is what we're going to use to texture our model. So, what we want to do is load it up into our UV editor. So we're going to open up an image in the UV editor, or in this case, it's the going to be in the reference resource files, and it's going to be the carrot growth textures pack. Make sure you get the file and put it in this folder, and then we're going to open up the PNG file. That gives us this. And we want to deselect everything. And we're going to scale this down to where it fits the rectangle up here, the lighter color. Rotate it 90 degrees. And we'll scale it in on the X just a little bit and get it to fit. And now we're going to grab the other brown portions, or other ground portions, I should say. And we're going to scale those in to where they fit as well on the brown. And grab this one and pull it up as well. So now the planting patch has a texture. So now let's go add the texture in for the carrot. Make sure we have it selected. Hit the Tab key. And load in the image again. So let's grab the main body of the carrot and scale it down. And we're going to get it where it fits in there pretty well. That should do it. Now for the green stuff. Get that scaled in right. There we go. And there's another part of the model all laid out with texture. Time for the last bit, i.e. the seed. So we're going to load that image one more time. And this one is going to be this. So we need to scale it down. And rotate it 90, I believe. So we get something that looks like this. We can scale it out a bit more on the X and move it down a bit and over. There we go. That's everything with a texture, so let's see how everything looks. We'll move this to texture mode. And we can scale down and Let's get rid of this light. Okay, this needs to be adjusted a bit. At the wrong angle. So rotate this 90. And now scale it down in. That looks a little bit better. Let's take that in a bit more. And scale it out on the X a bit. No, just take it in on the X is what we need to do. Get it more or less to where it's right on that flat all the way, so something like this. And we get something that looks kind of like that, which is okay, given it's going to be seen from not that close. So with that one okay, let's check out the carrot. And it looks nice. And the planting patch looks nice as well. Now let's add in some lighting. So we can hide the UV editor. Let's add in a sun. And let's rotate it on the X. Something like this, so that's 38 degrees. Let's go 40. 40 degree rotation on the sun. We can just pull it over to the side to get it out of the way. And from the top, let's give it another 45 degrees. And we'll just put it right there. So there we have our patch of ground lit. But we also need some coming from the other angle. So for that, let's add in a hemi lamp. And it'll be over this way and rotate it on the Y 40. And rotate it on the Z 45. But we want it going 40 up. So undo that Z rotation and rotate it on the Y an additional 80. Now on the Z 45. And let's just slide it over. There we go. Now, we need to adjust the colors of these two lamps. So if we go over here to the Object Data tab on the right, we can see the hemi is a full white, and really we want it to be kind of a light blue. So something along that line. And if we take the energy down to 0.8, that'll make it more or less the way it should be. We don't really want highlights. So if we uncheck specular and diffuse, that will tend to that. And we want to do the same for the sun, only instead of blue, it needs to be kind of a yellowish orange. So something like that. Let's try it a bit more. There we go. Energy, take it down again to 0.8. And we want specular and diffuse unchecked on the sun as well. And let's move these to their own layer. So let's move it to layer 4. And we can re-show everything. Now you might be wondering why the lights aren't illuminating like they were before. To get that working, we have to actually render. So let's try rendering. And what we get is black. First off, we need to move the camera back, and let's get rid of the reference image. So move it back on the 2 axes. And then up on the Z, or the last axis. Pull it back a little bit more. And there, now our camera angle is set. Now each of these, if we go up, come up here to the top, we'll see a material tab. We want to go into that and assign it a material. And at the very bottom there will be a face textures option. And that's what we want. So we can now just pull up the first one again. And to get the seed, we need to go to its, there we go. So now if we render, you see the seed has nothing. Let's try the carrot. Still nothing. And that's because the way the layers in Blender work. Did I do something wrong? Let's try this. All right, that's what we needed. We didn't need both diffuse and specular disabled, just specular. So now, there we go, our carrot. Now let's pull in the seed and see how that looks. Again, making sure the lights are brought in. And there's our seed, looking kind of seedy, but that's what one should expect from a seed. And the planting patch. The top looks like you would want a planting patch to look, kind of mottled, dirty, if you will. So now let's put the carrot in and test render that. Yeah, that looks nice. That looks like what we're wanting. And that's going to be it for this time. Next time we get to actually start animating things. That's all for this session of Polygonal Art with JoRaSe. If you enjoyed what you saw, how about giving this video a thumbs up? And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss out on future videos from me. In the video description below, you'll find my Patreon link. Feel free to check it out. Now, on to the credits.